guys, welcome back to Rock's Roundup. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. And today I will be discussing and reflecting on the death of Mohamud Hassan. Mohamud Hassan, just 24 years of age, a young man from Cardiff of Somali descent, was found dead just a few hours after being released from police custody on the 9th of January 2021. The day before, on the 8th of January 2021, Mohamud was arrested on suspicion of breach of the peace. He was taken and held at Cardiff Bay Police Station, where he would go on to be released the next day just after 8:30 in the morning. He was released without charge. So 8:30 a.m. he was released from custody, and a few hours later, around 10:30 p.m. in the evening, the ambulance service were called to his family home, where he was later pronounced dead. On the 11th of January 2021, the Independent Office for Police Conduct announced that they would be undertaking an independent investigation into Mohamud's death and the contact that he had with police officers prior to his death. But the next day, on the 12th of January, the IOPC would go on to say there was no physical trauma or injury to explain a cause of death. Since this statement from the IOPC, the family of Mohamud have gone on to say that they will be seeking an independent pathologist report, as well as demanding the release of body cam footage which is available from the night of the arrest. So it has been quite a few weeks since Mohamud's death. Unfortunately, as with quite a few cases involving young black people, news outlets weren't so quick to pick up the story, and it wasn't until Mohamud's family took to social media claiming that he has been assaulted that this even came to any type of media attention. They claim that his body had visible bruises and visible cuts once leaving the police station, and his aunt Zainab even said he had lots of wounds on his body and lots of bruises, which she says he didn't have prior to his arrest. Furthermore, we have eyewitnesses who are said to be shocked by Mohamud's appearance after he was released from custody. They say blood covered his tracksuit and he had severe bruising. This story, without a shadow of a doubt, is important all on its own. But when we put it even contextually, just after 2020, specifically with the death of George Floyd, it's become something that hits harder. And that's why I've chosen to discuss it in this video. I'm very reluctant to call this video an opinion piece because someone is dead and the circumstances behind it seem so suspicious. But there are investigations that are still happening. Family want to do independent investigations themselves. And so I guess it is an opinion piece. And my opinion is that a seemingly young, healthy man has gone into police custody for what you might argue is a small crime. Breach of peace. That could be me having some noise in my room, playing my speaker too loud, who knows? But not something that should result in death. And for that reason, it is my opinion, and I'm sure so many would share it with me, that it shouldn't take an outcry for this young man's family, for this to be taken seriously and for this to be investigated thoroughly. It is an issue worthy of discussion, and I think first of all it must be said that it is a shame. And sometimes it hurts to know that when it comes to black lives, it takes a while for things to hit the news. Adam Price is the leader of Plaid Cymru, which means Party of Wales. And whilst in Parliament, he said, "There can be no doubt this is a deeply harrowing case and every effort should be made to seek the truth of what happened. Why was Mohamud Hassan arrested? What happened during his arrest? Did he have legal representation? Was there any aftercare? Why did this young man die?" And I think those sentiments expressed by Adam Price can be shared by everyone. Why is this young man dead? At this point, it's simply not good enough to hear all the statistics and hear all the stories and hear about all the deaths and just accept them as they are. We know that there's racial discrimination. We know that there's injustice. And we know that there are facts within England, within the UK, that mean that it is always going to be more risky for our family members who are black, who are darker than us, and who are not white looking or white passing, to be stopped, to be searched, to be arrested, and to be harmed when interacting with police. It's not acceptable. As of 2017, black people constituted 12% of the prison population. Statistics taken from 2018 and 2019 showed that 22% of stop and searches involved black people. And all of this is going on while we constitute just 3% of the general population. It's just not adding up. According to the Lamy report of 2017, black men are 3 times more likely to be arrested. And a recent investigation by the BBC uncovered what what most of us are pretty sure you already know, but that black men are more likely to die in custody than their white male counterparts. So when it comes to the story of Mohamud Hassan, it is devastating, it is upsetting. I will leave the links in the description below to contribute to the GoFundMe to assist his family with funeral costs, etc. And I will also leave the petition to release body cam footage from the day he was arrested, which is currently being held. But aside from that, I think what I'm asking is that we all take a really big look at just how we look at injustice in the UK. It's not okay to look at it and see it as a US problem. And I think sometimes, especially coming off the back of George Floyd's death, and coming off the back of the storming of the Capitol, and coming off the back of Trump as president, where we saw America take such a disgusting turn in that all of the racism and all the injustice became more overt rather than covert. Just because that's how we see it there doesn't mean it's not happening here. And I think it's also really important that we don't look at what's happening in our own back gardens and think it doesn't affect us just because our brothers or our cousins or our sisters haven't been arrested or hurt or scarred by interactions with the law, because it happens so often and it really could be one of us. I really am just saying how I feel about this situation and how I feel about the injustices we are facing in the UK. But I think it is time that we don't just protest and we don't just write reviews on what's happening, but we really take the time to discuss and educate those around us. And I think one of the great things that did come out of 2020 was allyship from other ethnic minorities and from our white counterparts, saying that they stand with us when we say Black Lives Matter. Living in London, sometimes we can become very comfortable with the fact that we walk down the road and we're going to see Chinese market, an Indian wholesales, a Caribbean store and a white butcher's all on the same road. But this isn't what happens as soon as you go a little further up north. So I guess my 3 takeaways from this video would be: practice what you post. So many of us posted black squares a few months back in solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement, but there has been so little discussion regarding the case of Mohamud Hassan. And at the core of it, no matter the reason he was arrested, no matter what happened whilst he was in police custody, there was no reason for that young man to die. So let's be vocal about it. Second of all, this problem is not a US problem. We have a problem here in the UK that just might look a bit different. Just because we don't have guns here in the UK, we have tasers, the police have fists, they have batons. We're always granted anonymity in these cases. And third of all, my own personal point is just standing together, checking on your family, having more open conversations about what happens when you're stopped by a police officer, when you're out on the road. It's affecting us all more than you might think. And this constant parade of death we're starting to be able to turn a blind eye to is so scary. The police are there to protect and serve Black people too. Please don't forget to click the links in my description, the link to GoFundMe for Mohamud Hassan and the petition to get the body cam footage from that night released so that we can see what happened that night. I really hope that this video kind of touched you how it touched me. Let's keep talking about these things. Let's not let this young man's death be in vain. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see next. I've heard some people saying they've surprised I haven't spoken about coronavirus yet, or that I haven't mentioned presidential election yet. Let me know. God willing, the next video won't have to be like this. But yeah, have a really, really great week. Have a great weekend, whatever time you're watching this video. I will see you in the next one very, very, very soon. Bye.